Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. We got all kinds of things to talk about. Y'all always know we're always going to have an hour of interesting conversations. Today, first, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to walk through TikTok's new community guidelines. They are going into effect this Sunday at midnight, and we're going to look at what's changing, who this is going to impact, and why is more important than ever to move your audience to platforms you control. A lot of people utilize TikTok as like their main thing, and there's going to be so many people impacted by these new guideline updates. I also answered a question this week over on my YouTube Shorts. It was one where I talked about Substack. I played the video here for y'all a few weeks ago. The viewer had a question about Substack and wanted to know how to find posts that they liked. So I thought, oh, let me make sure everybody knows how to do that. And we're also going to talk about my exciting news of the week that Skool just rolled out native live streaming. I know last week we were talking about we're a week away. We can't wait to try this out. So it is now live on the Skool platform. We're going to go try it out together. It's really cool because now you have the ability, if you are a creator that has your own school, or if you're in other people's school communities, there's now native live streaming right inside there. No more needing to go on Zoom. A lot of people have paid Zoom accounts just so they can have a place to bring their community together on a live stream, whereas now you can actually do it right inside of Skool. I'm super excited about this. So what I want to do at the top of next hour, after we wrap up this live stream, is we're going to go try it out. We're all going to head over to social media and AI shortcuts over on Skool and try it out in real time. I did a test and it was really cool, but I want people to come on and do it with me because it'll be cooler. If you're new here, hi, I'm Madeline Sklar. I help content creators, marketers, entrepreneurs, and just really anybody that's looking to get more done in less time. Because look, when it comes to social media and AI, there's so much information out there. It's so easy to get overloaded. So what I'm trying to do is just trying to make it just a little bit easier for everyone. So be sure to come hang out with us here each week, come over to Skool and just be a part of these discussions. We're just here to have a way to stay connected and help each other. Here is our co-hosts for today. We got Bez, Jim, Maria, and Barb. How are y'all doing? Good to see you all.
Fantastic. Hi, everybody.
It's great.
I love our group. And just for those who, if you don't know, if you want to come on screen and hang out with us, you just got to come be a member of our Skool community, the social media and AI group.
Somebody was asking me the other day on the X live stream. Somebody sent me a message and said, "How can they join?" Yeah, so I'll talk to you offline. Yeah,
it's a perk for being part of Skool.
Exactly.
My Cash App. Tell them I'll give you my Cash App. You can
for $5.
No, 10. I'll give Madeline 5. I'll keep 5.
Oh.
It's so amazing to be able to have all of us on the screen and have a conversation like this, because we all know some of us are fans of Spaces on X, for instance, and we can do live, but then it's just me. You can't see anybody else, and it's kind of awkward. So I'm excited to learn about Skool too, what you're going to talk about today, to see how that can happen too.
Well, what's great about this new live stream feature on Skool is a perfect way to take a community you already have on Skool and bring people together even more closely and just build on what you already have. Because, Skool's like a Facebook group. We're all very familiar with Facebook groups. Schools are becoming really popular, Skool, for anybody that's new to that. And, if you have this platform where you're having all these great conversations and it's more of a forum type environment, how incredible that you could just click on a post and you're now live in a chat, a Zoom style grid chat with other community members just from that group. So it's private just for that one community. And I'm so glad they finally added this feature. It's definitely long overdue. It's definitely going to affect poor Zoom, because I know a lot of people with school communities pay for Zoom and they always do regular Zoom calls, but they coordinate and talk about it in Skool, but then they all go over to Zoom. So now to be able to just do it right inside of Skool, it's like you wouldn't even need Zoom any longer.
Fewer platforms.
So that's exactly. And it's interesting to watch Skool grow the way it has. Why I did not do this, but why is that on my YouTube?
That you know what?
What's
I
going
made it.
on?
That was me, and I'm like, how?
But it's under my name and on
I know
YouTube.
that's why. Well,
Hello world.
Oh, I think I know why.
I was like,
It's
how do I
because
connect my
Did-
social
did
media
you-
and I'm looking like at your. I'm looking at your thing.
So I
Oh.
know I can explain why, Bez, because you're part of this account.
Yeah.
Since I added you and Madeline, you technically have admin capability on any show. So when you commented
Inside of
here,
StreamYard?
Madeline
Oh.
today. Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
So
Wow.
stop that, Bez.
Oh, yeah. If you look at the pull down, it shows. Okay.
In
Yeah,
the chat.
That's what happened.
like I have this red button that says end stream.
Yes, don't do it.
Ooh.
No.
Don't do that.
you're
It
an
always
admin.
takes one.
Right.
It's a troublemaker.
Takes one
Yeah,
troublemaker.
because technically Beth and Jim are admins in here. Y'all don't touch the end stream
That's right.
and
That's
don't
right.
comment.
Don't touch the buttons.
If
Yeah.
you're going to comment, go
Perfect,
comment
Maria.
out
Listen,
on real
Maria.
YouTube.
Don't touch the button.
So I'm gonna have to go on my phone and then share Madeline's stream to my social media platforms. Is that what I'm gonna have to do? Pretty
Yeah.
You
much?
can do it inside of here.
Oh.
No,
You
you
can-
don't want him to, because
Yeah.
he'll share it as
That's too much.
just open another browser tab if you want to do something with social
And you
media.
guys, for everybody watching, you can see that we're all kind of testing the buttons too.
We're
So
trying
these
buttons.
conversations are so funny because, don't trust anybody who pretends they know everything. They're perfect. It's not possible.
Well,
I
this is
could
a casual chat anyway. So I mean, we're just hanging out, shooting the breeze with
But this
everybody.
this has always been one of the advantages of StreamYard from a production standpoint. If Madeline's power went out, Bez or I could continue to run the stream,
would
bring
salvage.
people on and
Yeah.
off.
And
Yeah.
that's
Where-
happened before, by the way.
Oh, that's happened to me. And unfortunately, we didn't have it set up that way. And it was kind of funny because until I got back on, everybody was kind of like, we had like one person that was main screen and they're like not knowing how long it's going to take me to get back. All from a
Wow.
power outage. It was pretty funny.
Well, the other thing that's kind of cool about this particular situation right now, the last few minutes, is AI can't replicate our ridiculous conversation.
Got that right. You got that
We
right.
are real humans. We are humans.
I love that. I love that, Maria. And something I learned with the new Skool live streaming is same thing like what Jim's saying. So let's say with me running a Skool live stream in our community, if something happened and I like my power jumps and like I'm out for 10 minutes or it still will keep going and then let me come back in as if nothing happened. So it doesn't end it. But also it goes so far as to if I wanted to leave, if I'm running it over and I want to leave, it can still just it says it doesn't. The live
last
stream,
person goes.
the last person, yeah. Barb and I watched the whole video, didn't we? Barb? I watched
Interesting.
that whole video. I'm like, I want to know
Oh,
every detail.
Lots of testing too. And I was on a live earlier this morning. You know, I do every Thursday morning with 26,000 Udemy students. And I said, a young woman came on and she said, we asked her how we could help her. And she'd become a certified life coach. And so in doing that, I said, well, you know, it's all about the universe speaking to her and so forth. And she had to attend our session. And I said, well, today is the day. I told her to follow this live stream on Facebook. But I said, in the past, I would have told you to go to Facebook and start a group.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you that anymore if you're a certified life coach or if you're a consultant, because to actually grow your community from scratch, your garden is over at Skool.
Absolutely.
And all you need is just a couple more people to chat with. Like here, there's 5 of us, but we're connected. We're probably amongst the 5 of us over 1 million people we're connected to. So
Right.
it's crazy how that works. And so I would say jump on Skool as quickly as possible and start with a hobby plan. That's the $9 a month plan. But before you press the button to do that, think about what is beyond the Skool.com, that link that is created, because it is going to be permanent on the $9 a month plan. You have to buy in at the
for a
$100
custom
a month plan
custom
for the
URL.
custom link. And if you are someone watching this and you have the $99 plan and it didn't go the way that you planned, here's another quick tip. You get to keep that a customized URL when you downgrade.
No, I asked Sam Evans. No, because I wanted to know.
Because I had another person.
Oh, I asked him directly.
I've
DM'd him many times. He's easy to reach by DM. So when they started the $9 a month plan, that was kind of like my first thought was, maybe I could switch this one, the social media night shortcut, since I'm not really monetizing it, like switch it from the 99 to 9. But I don't want to lose Skool.com/Madeline Sklar. I mean, I'm really lucky that, well, not lucky. I mean, it's not like there's other Madeline Sklars, but I don't want to lose that. So I reached out to him and I said, if I downgrade to the $9 a month plan, am I going to lose my custom URL? Is it just going to give me, get back to like a random one? He goes, yeah, when you signed up, when anybody that signs up, doesn't matter which plan. Oh, that's the wrong. Why did I pick that one up? I picked the wrong one. When you sign for Skool, you first get a free trial, no matter which plan you want, the 9 or the 99 a month. It's going to just give you just some URL, that's usually incorporates a little bit of the name of what, but not a custom. And then once your free trial is over, then if you do the $99 a month plan, you can get the custom URL. If you don't want to wait with your free trial, you can just go ahead and pay for the plan and just bypass the free trial to go ahead. Like, I don't want to wait. I want it now. If you want the $9 a month plan, you do not get the custom URL. And if you downgrade, you lose it. I wanted to be sure. I'm like, do I really want to lose Skool.com/Madeline Sklar? I'm not worried about anybody else taking it because that would just make no sense. But I'm like, let me ask Sam because I want to know for sure before. And so far I've decided not to do it, but I'd rather keep it because I like having that URL.
Well, I just checked that person that did it and told me they did it. But he's not a U.S. citizen. We're both in the U.S. and his is still the previous URL.
Yeah, I figured I'd go to the source, and Sam Evans is the founder and owner.
And maybe they haven't, they just.
I've DM'd him many times with questions. I mean, I've been using Skool for like 2.5 years, and I have had two communities for a couple years. So I don't know if that's why he always. I think he's the kind of guy that just responds to everybody, even though Skool is huge now. But I DM him. I DM him in Skool. I DM him inside of Skool.
I think it'd be, if you downgrade, there should be a message that comes up and tells us that, because he is all about sustaining community, and so maybe and I will check with he's a member of your Skool community too. I will check with him again to make sure, double check that he did that, but because he is out of the United States, and so that might at this point make a difference. And so us talking about it, he's going to get it taken away. He's going to be mad at me.
I'm going to look for the message because I'm trying to remember what all he said.
Well, what's on the agenda for today?
Okay. Yeah.
You're into the woods right now.
Thank you, Maria.
Let me real quick, because I went and grabbed the DM when I asked Sam. So I said, if I downgrade one of my accounts, will my custom URL automatically change to the generic one? I'm curious how that works. He says, yes, it will revert to what it was when you first created your group. And then I asked him, if I downgrade and decide to upgrade at a later time, can I reclaim my old custom URL? And he says, if it's still available, yes. But I just didn't want to lose it at all.
In the writing, it said it will downgrade to your first URL. So if you signed up for the free trial of the commercial plan, you set your URL, then that is your downgraded one if you go back.
You don't get a custom URL as soon as when you join. It's going to give you a URL. It doesn't give you a custom one immediately.
Even on the free trial, on the commercial.
I have multiple accounts. It's always it just spits out a URL. Then you have the option to have the custom, but you got to be paying the $99 a month right then and there.
I have a feeling that most
hopefully
of the
you
people
can-
watching right now want to be members of a school community instead of starting.
Yeah, we
one.
need to move on
Anyway,
anyway.
let's get them to Madeline's.
Yeah, because we don't.
That's
Right.
all you need to worry about, you
We don't need to
guys.
spend so much
Just
time
go
on
to
this.
Madeline's.
Because yeah, we got other stuff to talk about. But if you're not in our school community, do join. Let me just show you what it looks like real quick. Because at the top of the hour, we're going to go over there and try the new live stream feature.
It's
that's
free to join too, remember.
embedded. It's free to join.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because she's paying, just so everybody realizes that.
I'm paying for it. You don't pay, I pay.
Yes.
And I'll leave the ticker up. I have another ticker here of like saying if you go join that we're going to be there at the top of the hour to go try it out. So yeah, let's get on to some of our other news that I want to get to. Is anybody here utilizing TikTok? I know I've talked about like how I use it for not so much my Madeline Scholar. I do a little bit, but more of my Kratom stuff, which is the other stuff I do. I have a podcast, I do a live stream, I do a lot of things. And it's interesting how I found for reaching people in that community that TikTok works really, really well, but they're making changes to their community guidelines, and it's going to affect a lot of people. And I want to make sure everybody's aware of how it's affecting people. I think for most of us content creators of just this stuff we do, talking about social media, marketing or whatever, like more generic stuff, I don't think it's going to affect us as much, but it depends on what it is you're talking, what's your topic. So what I want to do is I want to start with a video that I was watching where this guy talks about how he has like some insider information from someone at TikTok, and he kind of talks about like some of these changes that are coming. But basically starting Sunday at midnight, they're changing it to the point that for a lot of people, they're not going to be showing up in the For You feed, which is what makes TikTok so great because their algorithm is incredibly good. And I only started using it seriously for my Kratom content a couple of years ago because I was just not, it just wasn't for me, But then again, I always associate TikTok with the dancing and all the entertainment stuff, and it just didn't really appeal to me, and it wasn't content I was going to be creating there. But it seemed like during the pandemic, it really shifted, and TikTok went through some changes, and it just wasn't just the entertainment stuff. A lot of people use it for educational information or for community building or just bringing people together. So a couple of years ago, I started taking a look into it, and I really enjoy using it for that stuff. But because it's a botanical, there's a lot of gray area. And so TikTok, I'm always getting in trouble with TikTok. Many times they just don't want to let your content be seen by people. And right now they've threatened to delete cancel and delete my account. Actually, you can't see it, but when I go to my TikTok, there's a big red warning under my picture to remind
that makes
me
us want to watch it.
To remind me that I'm in trouble. Well, I'm just sharing helpful information to help other people.
Is that on your Kratom stuff?
Yeah.
That you get dinged, right? Okay.
Yeah. And I think this is just kind of this precursor before the big guidelines. Because I have a feeling when these guidelines go into effect on Sunday morning, I have a feeling my account will most likely be deleted by them. Or they're not going to let anything I post go through. But like I posted something yesterday that was no big deal. And I was answering somebody's question, very generic, no big deal. And they immediately deleted it and gave me a strike and gave me another warning and told me I have all these strikes and one more and my account's gone. And it's just sadly for some industries or certain types of content, it's this ongoing love-hate relationship that we end up having with TikTok because they're so strict. But at the same time, it's been worth it for me to use because part of me is like, why am I even wasting my time there? But I'm able to connect with so many people and help a lot of people over there. Very different from X or some of the other platforms where the algorithm is not the same. And it's just so much harder. So, and Jason from Buns and Beaker Bernoulli says, I find our content is super hit and miss. That's what I seem to see. It's very hit or miss there. Their algorithm is interesting, but I'm just really hey, Larry, good to see you. I'm just concerned with these new changes. And for people that like to talk about politics, there's not going to be any more of that. They are not allowing, you can't. Let's watch this video because the guy really explains all of this. And let's just watch it because he does like a 4-minute explanation. Now, this is a guy that does talk a lot of politics. He does it in this video. And this is not to start any, if anybody like goes, oh, not him or what, we're not putting up with that. Like, we're not talking politics. This guy has really good information talking about what's about to happen with TikTok and is worth people knowing what's coming. So let's watch this real quick.
Hey guys, it's about 10 minutes till 9 on Monday night. I think it's August 8th. I got some inside information about what's about to happen with TikTok. And it is not good. It is not good. I got this from kind of an inside source that what the plan is that when TikTok implements its new community guideline violations this coming Sunday at midnight, August 13th, they are going to take every single video for every creator, every single video that those creators have ever posted, going all the way back, and they're going to run every single video through an AI version of their new community guidelines. And then it's just going to be community guideline violations, account strikes, and account bans. So, and I was informed that one possible option is that you can go back to the very beginning of your page and just delete whatever videos you think might be in violation of the new community guidelines, which, from what I understand, you can't criticize politicians. You can't criticize foreign governments. You can't talk about elections. Basically, you can't talk about domestic or foreign politics at all. And so I'll put my username for the other large video platform on the screen. Please go follow me there, because I fully expect that by next Monday, both of my accounts will be permanently banned. This account, and my backup account. I'm not going to try to adapt to TikTok if this is what they're going to do. If this is what TikTok is going to do, then I am currently within the last week of my abusive relationship with TikTok. If I wake up next Sunday or next Monday and both of my accounts are permanently banned, I'm not going to start another one. I will be done with TikTok. I will be on YouTube, and you can just type that into the search bar for YouTube and my page will pop right up. But I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be a part of this in any way, shape, or form. So, and this is coming from inside TikTok. This is TikTok saying that's what TikTok is going to do starting at midnight on Sunday. And it's going to be a bummer, man. It's going to be a real bummer. But whatever, things change and we adapt and we move forward. And, TikTok is going to scrub everyone from this app who talks about news or politics. How about that, man? How about that? But anyway, there's a link in the link tree in my bio for my YouTube page, or you can just type that into the search bar. and let's all try to enjoy our last week here.
So that's what's
Wow.
a lot of people have been talking about, because I mean, I see lots of creators on TikTok. There are lots of politics stuff, news stuff, and because the algorithm is so good, if it's content you like, their algorithm immediately picks up on it and will keep giving you more of it and other stuff similar to it. And that a lot of that's going to change, but it just depends on what your content is. What do you talk about? What I think is anything you talk about on TikTok that you've already gotten in trouble before, whether it's just an occasional strike or they come down on you for, like, say, it's a community violation, even though it doesn't make sense to you. If you've ever experienced any of that on your account, I'm thinking, my prediction is you're not going to have much of an account anymore. But for those that don't really run into issues, I think you'll be all right. If you like TikTok for you and be able to find content like that are going to be part of these community guidelines that they're going to get harsher with, you're not going to really see it over there anymore. So my suggestion is, if there's creators you like and you're concerned now after watching that like some of them you're probably not going to see anymore, go follow them on their other social media. But really, the big lesson here is the reminder these platforms are rented land. We can't control them at all. No matter how much we want to, we cannot. Just another reason why I utilize the Skool platform, and that we have a place to go where we don't have to worry about that. Actually, talking about like the issues I've had with my TikTok for my Kratom Stories podcast account over there, because it's a botanical, is federally legal, but there are some places around the country that buy into propaganda and misinformation and ban it. But on a federal level, it's legal. And so it really shouldn't be such a gray area on social media, but it is.
Mhm.
And when I had my first TikTok, my current TikTok account for that, I'm on my second one. My first one got abruptly deleted by TikTok out of the blue, no warning, no strikes, just they banned it. So that on that day, before I set up in my next TikTok, which is the one I have right now, is I went and started a community for that group over on Skool. I'd already been using Skool with other creators. I'm like, I'm going to set up one specifically for my Kratom community because I don't want to have to go through that again. I should be able to have content that I can control, not
Mhm.
a tech bro or some huge company. So I even went so far, before I even set it up, I went and contacted Skool. And I told them what I was trying to do. I said, I'm just trying to have a space for my community to talk about this botanical. I gave them information about Kratom, and they came back immediately and said, yeah, it's fine. We have no problem with it. And which is great. And that's how it should be. Now I pay for Skool, and I figured if I'm paying for it, but I also thought, well, just because you're paying for a platform, still look at their guidelines.
Mhm.
I went through their guidelines and I didn't see any issues, but I thought, you know what, before I go pay money to do this and invest time and money into this, let me just go ask them. Y'all can always ask these places. I mean, are they going to respond? Don't know. But I literally sent them an email and asked.
It's fascinating because you almost wonder if some of this is they're doing it because if you think about what's going on in the mainstream media, that if TikTok wants to stay in business in the United States, they're doing this to allow themselves to still be around. But on the flip side, you have a lot of people go there for this type of content. Now they're going to say, well, now they don't really have the stuff that I care about. So will that affect the number of people that go out there to scroll TikTok? And even though this guy says he's going to go to YouTube, I think that's been an issue sometimes on YouTube where they'll shut channels down because they didn't, quote unquote, meet community standards. And so, Substack, I have seen stuff, if you want to say the political stuff, and, I don't know how much you've done yet with your Kratom stuff. I haven't really seen that happen yet. I think it still kind of goes down to how far you want to, say, push the line of, we'll call it civility. Because I know it's funny, I'll be really curious to see next week because there's some people I connected with on TikTok long ago, because I mean I'm on there, but I'm not. I mean, at some point I think, oh, I'll start to create more product videos. I know we do some with Dealcasters. My adult daughter has been, doing it more for the TikTok shop stuff herself, trying to sell products. But I think it's interesting that they're going to go all the way back in time, according to this guy, and like, oh, you violated this back whenever, and so we're going to basically shut you down. And so that'll be, I mean, if you even think of the list of names, right? If you appeal, how long is that going to take?
Well,
Right.
I thought it was interesting in the video. Yeah, he said go back and delete what you think they might remove. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah, I mean, if you
You
have a lot of
don't know
videos,
what their
yeah,
parameters are. Because
exactly.
I've gotten dinged on copyright music stuff before. I
Mhm.
talk about meditation, I talk about podcasting, but once in a while I might talk about Black Lives Matter. Should I go back and delete? I don't know.
But you
So
shouldn't have
how
to.
time consuming
Right.
too, and
Right.
just random. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it really is. It's kind of crazy. And I love what you said, Madeline, about the fact that, people keep forgetting that a lot of these platforms are rented land. And it's almost like sometimes do people use TikTok or, even CapCut or whatever else? Because, oh, I can add all these really cool looking features and add music and not have to worry about things. Well, you could create these videos and post them on, your website or whatever. And I think you bring up a really fascinating, if you want to call it, use of a community platform, i.e., in Skool. And maybe this will start to happen with others. Like it's almost in some aspects, I call it a dark web thing because you're bringing people in, they have to be invited, right? They can't just join. And so you can post whatever you want in your community. And if people don't like it, you can kick them out or they can leave.
Absolutely. I have the control. I can kick anybody out. If somebody comes in and starts spamming,
Mhm.
I can just get them out immediately. I
Yeah.
mean, I like that you can have a community because with Skool, it can be private or public, and all that means is somebody still has to go join. But if you have yours set for public, and I don't do that on either of mine, not even our social media AI, because if it's public, then people can find it and see all the posts and see everything. They just can't post. But I want
Mm.
people to feel like, well, this is a safe place to be around other like-minded people. And if
Mhm.
other people are going to come join us, fine. But Madeline's running the controls. And I have mine set that, when somebody joins either of my two Skool communities, I'm going to approve them first. Like I don't let them just
Mhm.
automatically go through.
Right.
I have the moderation set so that I have to go look at them. And I've been able over the years spot, who are the spammers. There was a time where Skool had some issues a long time ago before they got real big. And I mean, I was working with them to help fix it because it was a mess for a while, the way these scammers were trying to invade the platform when it was starting to grow. But I like just being able to keep it as a place where it's like-minded people. We're there because we want to have discussions, we want to hang out, and we don't want to be interrupted by things that are not relevant.
Right, right. Well, Madeline, too, when you're building a community like you do, it's your integrity. You're the admin of the community. And so the members start to rely on you to keep it a safe place. And that's what makes them stay and want to be there is their trust in you for making those kinds of decisions. So that's important. I think for anybody out there that's looking to join any kind of a community, always pay attention to who the admin is. What is their goal? A lot of people in this world are just randomly trying to build communities because it has some credibility to it. Oh, I have millions of people. But who are those people? You got to know that the admin is making smart choices.
Yeah,
So
that's a
that's
great
important.
point.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
great
the
point.
most important thing.
Madeline, I wanted to kind of ask a question to the group, kind of comment on I saw someone had just posted about the fact that they can't create, it sounded like they couldn't create their videos using CapCut or Pipit. And so I guess this kind of goes back to me as someone that's been doing video creation for a while it's almost like you pay for what you think is a shortcut to help you create video. And then you run into all this, if you want to call it terms of service, where I think you could probably go out on Big View and create this stuff, and you could go out on Camtasia or, pay for Adobe Express because you're just creating the content there. And so I guess
Right.
people need to get off of what they think is this, and I'm not saying that it is, but in some aspects, I sometimes feel like people think, oh, the easy button is I'll just do my video on CapCut and it's going to do all these great things. But then I don't use CapCut because I had heard that now, they can take your content and use it for themselves.
They can, yeah.
Once you add it to their platform, they have it.
I don't know if everybody realizes CapCut is owned by ByteDance, the same company that owns TikTok. So the thing is, when the whole threat of TikTok going away happened last year, if that had happened, or if it still does happen, because there's always this threat looming over, CapCut is included in this because CapCut is the same company. And if TikTok goes away, CapCut goes away too. So that's why I never really invested a whole lot of time or energy into CapCut, because it's just, there's too much of a chance it could go away. Plus, when they have their terms of service being exactly the same as TikTok and being that strict and not being able to allow you to make certain types of content because it's against their terms of service. When you're talking about a botanical, I mean, I can understand some things, yes, but a botanical, that makes no sense to me at all.
I have a question. So we're talking about TikTok and the type that's not included. What about the other platforms? Are they suppressing political or other types of content on YouTube? Because he said he was going to go to YouTube, but
he's on YouTube. I mean, that guy's real popular. I mean, I think with his TikTok, he has like millions of followers over there on his 2 accounts. And then he has a big YouTube as well, I noticed. Because what I'm seeing is a lot of these creators are talking about, follow me on my, go to my other social media. And when you go there, the social media, some of them have small followings because they haven't really talked about it much. But the smart ones who've seen the writing on the wall for like a year with TikTok possibly going away, they've been really pushing their social media. But especially right now, a lot of creators are just like, just follow me on my YouTube. But YouTube, they're pretty strict too. And it was interesting with my Kratom stuff, since I'm always having issues on TikTok, I've had my YouTube from my Kratom Stories podcast for a couple of years, never had an issue. I have a ton of content on there. And then for the first time a few weeks ago, they took one of my YouTube shorts, which this is just so bizarre to me. So all I did from my live stream, which was streamed onto YouTube, all I did was like this one part of the live stream, I did like a shout out thanking like all the different Kratom vendors that I'm connected with. It was just real. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a clip of that and make it a TikTok and a YouTube short, because it was just a nice little short clip thanking all these companies I've gotten to know and just a nice little shout out. So several weeks ago, I'm like, I think TikTok is probably going to remove this when I put it up, but I know I won't have any problem with YouTube. It was the other way around. TikTok let it go through, to my surprise. I mean, I did it anyway. I was being a rebel. YouTube took it down, and it was the most bizarre thing. They like trying to tell me that it was drug talk or something, whatever their terminology was. And while I'm I'm on the mobile app, I'm on their YouTube Studio app, and while it's telling me that they deleted it and then violated their community guidelines, is telling me that something with drugs, and then it made me go through like a little mini class and then take a test. The whole thing is bizarre. I couldn't believe, I really wish I'd screen shared. I took some screenshots, but I wish I'd screen shared this whole process, because it would play these scenarios and then I had to answer the questions, and they were all geared towards like things people talk about that could be drug related or blah, like just very bizarre, weird things. And I'm like, okay, this is a plant. It's not a drug. It doesn't get you high. It doesn't do anything crazy. It's federally legal. Yet they're categorizing my content from just thanking a few companies. And
do you think, Madeline, though, that this goes back to the whole problem of a lot of this is probably initially an AI screening, and so it's not really. I mean, you could appeal it, and you might win your appeal, and then they'll let it post. But I think, too, Bez, to your question, my comment would be, as much as this guy may go over to YouTube, the difference is, and I think most people would agree with this, YouTube's not really a social media platform in some aspects. Where when I do a TikTok, I can get like real-time interaction. People can share it to their feed. And YouTube is not like that. YouTube isn't like, oh, I can now my short's going to show up on 15 different YouTube channels. So I think that's where, for what some people are trying to do, if you almost want to call it shock social media, that's going to get slowed down. Now, what I've seen on Facebook is people getting flagged for community standards, or and that could be that, I don't like what Madeline posted, so I'm going to report it to Facebook, and you don't know who's reporting you. So you could even have some of that going on.
Oh yeah.
So I think, it kind of goes back to, you have to start thinking, if I really want to talk with people, where am I going to do that? How is it going to be effective? And I think that's where this community stuff is becoming more powerful, because it's like, and I think we've talked about this before, I don't need millions of followers. I just need a few people. It's kind of that Pat Flynn thing, right? You just need those super fans. I think we're all Madeline's super fans. When we see Madeline does something, we want to be a part of it. And we don't, and as much as we want to see, like everybody on here successful and we'll support each other, we also don't look at it as like, oh, well, if you don't get 10,000 followers, you're just not worth anything. People don't understand the value because they don't always take the time to learn. And I think that's where, the whole thing with what's going on is, it's like, our country's always been known for freedom of speech, but where is some of this now kind of getting squelched by these platforms, all in the name of, I don't know if it's trying to protect us from ourselves. I'm not really sure.
Well, that's why you got Skool, right? So I'm experimenting with Skool. I've had for a long time a platform called Go Brunch. Maybe that's where, I've been thinking about doing something that is near and dear in my heart, and that is uplifting the Latino community. But that involves talking about some tough issues that's facing our people right now, which I'm thinking could get, somebody doesn't like it, could get banned. And I don't want to waste my time, like you said, I don't need 1 million people. I just need the right people in the room who's gonna, that the message is gonna resonate with, and they're gonna do something with it.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot going on in today's day and age that it's hard to say something and people get really
It's taken out of context.
get taken out of context, and emotions are high. The rhetoric is just getting worse and worse. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very sensitive, very want to fill in the blanks. If people don't understand what someone's about, they'll make up a whole story.
Think about what Madeline's doing with Kratom, and with TikTok, let it through YouTube, and then
It's
what did
random.
YouTube make you do? Go through like how to be a good
It's
kid?
so ridiculous.
Like, what was that class about?
I know, like I'm a child.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was, and I feel grounded, because they said, first of all, and I think AI did do that, like you said, but after I go through that whole thing, it did say I could appeal, but I forgot the exact wording, but something to the effect of like, I could make things worse if I appealed it. It was almost like a scare tactic, like a scare tactic.
Yeah.
And then I'm basically like on probation until November.
Oh,
So it's like, what am I in a timeout? Like, I don't understand.
Animal House, you're on double secret probation.
Yeah.
Well, and then we're all on so many different platforms. It's hard to remember which one am I in trouble on.
Right.
Once you start going, once you get excited about something good that you're putting out there, and then you forget, oops, that one doesn't like it.
Someone told me they got the exact same message, that if they appeal, it could make it worse. And I said, okay,
it's a scare tactic.
Don't buy that for one. It's like you buy a ticket at Disneyland. They said, if you park here, and so you can never sue us. I'm like, yeah, negligence and gross negligence are two different things. So and a lot. But people believe that, and so I say no, appeal it, because at least you have documentation why. And if they want to do whatever they want to do, they're going to do whatever they want to do. But you document what happened.
Yeah.
Crazy. Wow. What's next on the
Well,
agenda?
Yeah, you're so good, Maria. You should be like the room monitor here. You're
Keep moving.
Well, she's a natural for that.
I want everyone to be entertained and educated all at the same time.
Yeah, you're good at that. But I think the overall lesson with all of this that we're talking about is, if there's something that you're passionate about talking about in whatever, capacity it is, that don't let these platforms deter you from doing it. Skool is my alternative. Like, I don't have to worry about that type of content on Skool. And I made sure I found a place where I still want to do social media, because social media is where you cast the wide net, bring people to you. But when you bring people to you, have a place for them to go. It used to be the website, your email, email's still a thing, it's never going to go away. But we're all really more focused on community now. Where can we all go to converse and get to know each other? And not just me and you, me and everybody. Everybody gets to know each other. And Skool is perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm sorry, but
go ahead, Mark.
I've been here so much longer. And the thing is, we've seen this before. And like you said at the outset, even it is, if you want to run a community, if you want to develop a community, you're going to pay for it. It is pay to play, even on that one. And so what you have to do, and I mean, because my clients back in the day were folks like O'Reilly, and, that was just top of mind this morning because I have another friend on there, but the publishers, it all came because of my work with CompuServe and AOL and Prodigy. They were the big guys because there just weren't that many people out there. And it's like, who are we going to get to scout out this information? And the bottom line is, what server is Skool on? I took a screenshot of where it was saving my live from. Where is it actually resting at on the internet? On their server space. And you literally, if you have clients on there and you're sending people there, when you're establishing communities, you need to do, I'm sorry, but a background check on the actual source that you're using. And that is the one thing that I love these guys. I love their personality. I love that they jump to it. They remind me so much of Gage and Dan in the early days of StreamYard, because they were all about community. And I mean, that's why so many of us were drawn to them. It was the people aspect of Dave and of Dan and Gage, and they developed, and the product they sold, making over $100 million, those boys did, we made that happen.
Yeah.
The community made that happen.
Absolutely.
So that's the power of community. And
but they were so good at bringing the community together. One of the things I loved about those guys when they ran StreamYard before it got sold is every Sunday they held a 30-minute live stream every Sunday. And the two of them got on and they would just talk about, here's what we're working on. What questions do y'all have? We want to make this better. And they brought all of us together through that. And I usually couldn't make it live, but I always watch the replay, and I'd always be up on what's going on with the platform. And to me, that was so smart, the way these two founders just did a casual Sunday evening. We're just going to hop on and tell y'all and they were smart with using that cool little giveaway feature thing and doing it on the live stream at the end. That was brilliant. At first, I'm like, why are they doing that? And then I'm like, oh, I get it. And it was brilliant. They were impressive guys. And
what did they do?
They had a wheel. And so everybody that participated in, and it's actually built into StreamYard, I think still, you would like put a hashtag in and then it tied to your name, and they would do a giveaway at the end. And so they'd spin the wheel and it would say, okay, Bez, you just won a StreamYard mug or pillow, and they'd send it to you. So they just built, and to me, this is one thing I haven't seen well, I shouldn't say I haven't seen a lot. I think that Big View does a good job with it. But every week, Dan and Gage came on and did a town hall for their community. And so they were talking, the owners, right? The co-founders are talking to their community about what's going on, what are people doing, what are they looking for? And when they got bought out, that went away. And so that's why there's been a lot of frustration with
But
this
Mateo's
thing.
come back in.
Yeah, the guys now are doing. Yeah, the new people now are doing.
He's not even an admin or a moderator. He's just coming in and saying what's happening. In fact, they just launched a feature today, and they've added more of the layouts.
I saw that. I saw that when I was starting this today.
So, but is that going to make the difference? Because right now we can't use RTMP to go to Skool. So we are limited to whatever we can bring in from our cameras and audio sources into that live stream. That's why I still have Manicam, a reliable Manicam, and it too was sold. And that story has changed as well. But we, the people, we were at the core of creating those products and making that happen for us. And what has happened, I'm going to try to stay calm. But this whole thing, I was very dubious about Facebook to begin with, but look what happened in our country at the time, and how we all, as citizens here, we wanted to bless technology. We wanted to move forward fast, and we gave them all kinds of perks, to be there for us. But what they're doing in the last 18 months in that business, and AI has something to do with it, they're driving away community. And it's sad, but they're doing it because they're reducing visibility of things that we do for our friends. They're saying, well, we decided that you don't connect with your friends that much.
Right.
They're clueless. I have 2,000 friends, and over 1,000 of them I know in real life. And what I mean in real life is, I caught on to an industry that really captured technology, everything I love, communication and that. So that was hot air and gas ballooning. And those people have huge businesses and stuff. They are there, real live breathing human beings. And well, I kind of got, because that was the focus of my community and my friendships on Facebook primarily, then all of us who have Facebook groups that we call communities that we're working so hard to keep alive, that particular community is still thriving. And that's because there were real breathing people connecting through that. And they're like, where's Barb? Where's Barb? That kind of thing. Yeah. So this is what, this morning when I was in my live, and I said, you need two things today. And that is, you need Skool and you need Substack. I'm saying this for the now, but just understand that you have a responsibility to research them too, because it's you have to pay to play in the end. And even because I've actually had servers, I've gone that full route with T1 lines and that whole thing from way back when. And you can have a node on the internet where it all gets down. That's your connection straight to the internet. No country, no Meta or anything. You can actually have that control if you want it and you can afford it. So I know you can have it, but get back to the real world that we're in today, and we're not at that level. Is the best thing you can do is research the background. See, this thing, Skool has, I think it's called Schoolers, isn't it, Madeline?
Yeah.
Their actual group. Obviously, that is the one that you got to join, that community. It's free. And every week he does an update. And that's just like what we were talking about with StreamYard. Yeah. So I really think you need Skool and you need Substack because, and I hate to say this because I've been featured in books about this, and that is that darn email address is absolute golden. You've got to be able to connect where they're getting their email at the end. And that's also where they get their invoices at and everything else. So you got to be there. And the way that Substack and Skool handle the email connection, well, is a good way that will help you build your community.
Quick question, since we're talking about email. I don't know if this was on the list, Madeline, but if you use Kit, which used to be ConvertKit, they just came out that they're going to be increasing their prices. And it's the first time since 2013 that they've done this. What I found fascinating, and this kind of goes back into, and I know Barb and all of us, right? We've been in business, and, you know, business isn't free. But because they're doing a price increase, I see all these people like, I need to find a new email marketing provider. And it's like, why? I mean, for me, it's going to be $10 more a month, but it's like the features that they've added without raising prices, right? It's kind of like we've been getting a deal. It's kind of like it used to be.
Feature value.
StreamYard kept adding things, and they weren't charging more, you know, before the takeover. And even now, there's a lot of things these guys are doing. But I just find it fascinating. I think people look too much at this stuff as a cost versus an investment. And I think, like what you've done, Madeline, with Skool, yes, you're investing $99 a month as opposed to the $9 because you think that that URL is important, and that completely makes sense. But I just wanted to think, what do people think of the fact that because, i.e. Kit, who I think there's a lot of pros to it, raise their price, do you just automatically go jump ship because you're going to have to pay more?
No.
Good
You
point.
shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should research. As a business person, you need to research all of that. And that's just part of being in business. And I don't care what decade you're in or what century you're in. It's the same. You've got to research when you're spending your money. Know what? Yeah.
Well, Larry has the perfect
ROI.
comment. Yeah, ROI. How much time and effort would it take to move to another ESP?
Yeah, great point.
And that's what I always look, you know, when StreamYard, and I so agree with you, Jim, because when StreamYard, you know, the guy sold the company, and it was a good deal that we all paid at StreamYard before the new company came in. And the new company didn't immediately raise the prices, but eventually they did. But they did it so drastically. And that was the problem I had, was like, oh my gosh, this is drastic. I think that's the bulk of why so many people complain. I was on an annual plan, and mine had literally renewed the month before. So I'm like, okay, I got a whole nother year. But then it's like, well, but if I did move somewhere else, is it worth it? And StreamYard has a lot of great features that most of the others don't have. Most of them have, well, I like this feature on this one, I like this one, but not everything that StreamYard does. So I was doing that too, you know, like Larry says, ROI. And it's like, StreamYard is a great platform. It's like, you know, I need to figure out how to make this work. So these are all great points. I love this conversation. Y'all are bringing up great stuff. This is just a great hour. It always is. I always love hanging out with
Aren't we going somewhere?
We're going to go. Thank you, Beth.
On the magic
going
carpet.
Like Jim says,
go
we're going to school. We're going to go to school, y'all.
I think I saw Angel pop up on the chat.
Angel is here. Yep.
Hi, Angel.
Hi,
I'm not
Angel.
very good at noticing the chat, but I'm excited I saw him pop up. Yeah.
So what we're doing now that we're at the start of the new hour is we're going to go together as a group, whoever can join us, and go over to Skool right now, skool.com/Madeline Sklar. It's free to join. We're going to try their new live stream feature. It's embedded inside of Skool. And it's like a Zoom call, kind of a grid style. It's like this. Whoever comes in, we're all on screen. If you don't want to be on screen, turn off your camera. You can. This is just like Zoom. And so we're going to go try it out real quick, just briefly, because I got to run after that.
Real quick.
Oh,
Shimmy, we lost her.
She ran over. She's already there.
And she's there. Let's go meet her.
Real quick.
She's here, but she's not. That's so weird.
Yeah, it looks like
press
her connection.
Did she press a button? Oh, yeah, it must have been her connection.
What's this red button over here, Madeline?
The one that says "in stream" that you want to press so badly.
Don't you do it?
Well, we're gonna end this. We're gonna go over to Skool and go try it out. So skool.com/Madeline Sklar. If you're not in there, just go sign up. It just takes a moment to do. We're gonna go try this out. But now that they have this embedded live streaming, I'll definitely do some live streams. I'll still do this. Like this won't change what we do here every Thursday. We will always have this, but I want to do some special live streams just for our school community,
Right.
kind of like beyond this. So that there's value to y'all
Hey,
joining for free, even though I pay for it. You join for free.
You know what? That's where the 80s show is going to happen.
That's
yeah,
what I
that's
think,
what
that's what I think we should do. I totally agree. So we've been talking about it for a
Absolutely.
while. Back to the 80s, baby. We'll do it in there because it'll
All
be
right.
a private live stream.
Well, we'll see you over in school then. This is
Yeah, so
exciting.
y'all come
We'll
over
see
on
there.
Skool. I'm just going to do it as an impromptu live stream, so just give me a moment to go turn it on. But yeah, we're going to go over there right now. So thank you all for being here. We got a bunch of people here live. Thank you all for being here and hanging out. If you can't join us over on Skool right now, don't worry, but do sign up. It's free, and we'll be back here next Thursday to do this all over again. So y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.